Good morning, good morning. This is Jacqueline Richardson. It's JJ Diamond, Jackie, Deja, whatever y'all call me. First, we want to thank God for being alive another day. Once again, every day doesn't stop. We must talk to God every morning when we open up our eyes and be thankful that we're here to achieve another day. And we're going to check the weather here today in Charlotte. Alexa, volume up 50%. Alexa, what's the weather today here in Charlotte?
Right now in Charlotte, it's 54 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Throughout the day, you can expect more of the same, with a high of 80 degrees and a low of 54 degrees.
Okay, it's going to be pretty warm today. So that's a good thing. I just don't want it to go too high. But then we start burning up. That's when I got to go in there and make my handmade lemonade, my ice, and I just be enjoying that lemonade. I'm a Southern girl now, y'all. I'm laughing. I'm still a New Yorker, but I'm a Southern girl, But anyway, this morning I wanted to talk about our black men. Why our black men always feel targeted, and they feel like they're railroaded all the time, and a lot of it comes with lack of knowledge, because there is a lot of black successful men in America, and I know a lot of black successful men, so it's not a fairy tale, sometimes, some of these kids will sit back and say to themselves, well, I don't know no black successful people, so I'm not going to be successful. And then you have some kids that say, okay, well, I may not know any black successful men, but that is my goal, to become one. So with that being said, you have a lot of different ways to do things. However, if a person is a lack of knowledge, they're not going to be able to succeed in this. You know what I mean? It makes it very, very difficult for them to succeed in becoming successful, and whatever success is to that person. Because everybody's success is totally different, And we want to speak about, say, the average kid coming out of the Bronx, okay, and he's growing up around drugs, murder, lack of stability, that young man is going to only see the negative in working in life, and this is why every day, not every day, but, I speak to y'all on my podcast and I talk about the surroundings of a child and what a child sees and grows up in. Because if a child does not gain the knowledge that he needs to survive, he's going to have a hard time, Then that's when he's going to start feeling like...
What you gonna do is good music and G-Unit.
He's going to start feeling like the system is coming at him, Now, we all know the basic crimes of life, But sometimes people will do a crime so much that it seems like, or people around them would do a crime so much, it seems like it's not even a crime because they're not going to jail for it. But then as soon as they do it, they go to jail, The point that I'm trying to make here is, when you're raising your children, give them a choice. As parents, we have to direct our children, and your child may not want to be like you. You got some people out here, they're career criminals. This is what they do. This is what they love. They will continue to do it until the end of time. Even though the times has changed, they'll still continue to go out and do it. And then when their children grow up and they start doing negative things, and they're saying, why? Because look at you. This is what you showed your child was the right way. I'm thankful and blessed. My kids know to work, But your kid has to be attached to you enough to, because, kids watch both parents. They watch both parents. They watch grandparents. They watch their friends' parents and see how things are done, and how people maneuver to get through life. However, they make a choice, and none of us know everything. You know what I mean? We don't know everything. And sometimes we need extra guidance because we don't know everything. And people have this thing where they always want to look down on themselves about, oh, well, you don't know my life. My life is like this. My life is like that. What may be bad to you may be heaven to someone else. Okay? So this is why I tell people you can't go around pretty much saying how hard your life is. Because it's up to you to make it better. Okay? You can make up all the stories in the world of how depressing and stressed your life is. But if you're doing nothing to make it better, it's going to stay that way. Okay? Now, everybody always look for this miracle. I pray. God going to answer my prayers one day. And then you have, matter of fact, I seen this young man on Facebook this morning. And he was talking about how he had a broken car that was sitting in his garage or wherever it was. And he couldn't get the money to fix the car. And then he met this girl that had 2 cars. And then all of a sudden overnight, it was like he was in heaven. He had a car to drive. He was living a life. Every now and again, you have them stories, However, you can't wait how can I say it? I don't want to say it wrong. God didn't intend for us to solely wait on him to send somebody. That wasn't God's intentions, And it teaches us in the Bible, how his people, they worked. They did things. He started Adam out working. He said, I'm going to give you a job. And his job is you're going to take care of this Garden of Eden. And when he had his kids, first thing he did was gave him a job. If I'm not mistaken, Cain took care of the cattle. No, Cain took care of the garden. And Abel took care of the cattle. Okay? Or did I have it backwards? But anyway, but y'all know the gist of what I'm trying to say. He gave them a job. By him giving them that job, they was able, or Cain was able, to go later on in life and build his own area in the Garden of Eden and have his own city. So do you see what God intended? It wasn't intended for you to just sit back and wait on him. You have to have some type of way to get through. And you have to learn how to, one, ask questions, People have this thing where, oh, I don't want to tell my business. I don't want to this. I don't want to that. But when you talk, that's how you find out information. You know what I mean? People always say to me, well, how did you do that? Well, I told so-and-so that really didn't give a damn about me, but they gave me some information. So it benefited me. So that's the way you got to look at things. You can't look at it as, because my business is so extraordinary because of the way my family lived or what went on in my life. I just can't tell someone, you ain't no different from anybody else. Yours may be just a little bit tweaked, a little bit different than the next man's story. But everybody has their story. But a lot of these stories coexist. So, sometimes like when I talk to people, and they be like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. This is going on in my life. And I'm looking at them like, really? Is that what you crying about? Well, this is all you got to do. And they're like, for real? Yep, that's it. It was that simple. That's simple. And they go take care of it. And it was that simple. Problem solved. Problem over. Okay? Knowledge is the key. We have a lot of black men today, young coming up, having in their mind that they would never be anything. And that's the way they carry it. I'm going to never be anything anyway, so I might as well continue to do crime, might as well go to jail, might as well, use drugs, whatever the case may be. As long as you have breath in your body and you wake up every single day, you have another day to become successful. Okay, you just have to make the decision to say, today is the last day that I'm going to be doing whatever I'm doing to keep myself free enough to go out there and get what I said I need to get. And I saw a Facebook post where the boy had all these books. And he said, I got the knowledge now. Now I need the money. What am I going to do? I wrote on the post, get a job. All you got to do is get a job. A job can consist of many things. A job can be you working for a big corporation. A job can be you working for a small business. As long as you're getting that paycheck to get you closer to your goals, it doesn't matter. Okay? I had a lot of people telling me, and they just say it on the radio, talking about the people that's doing Instacart and Shift and all them other driving jobs. And it was like kind of making fun of us, And I would laugh because I make more money than some of the people that have regular jobs. If you dedicate yourself to something, you know what I mean? You go out there, do what you got to do, you can make the money. There's some people, I'm going to use my grandson for instance. He ain't do it here in Charlotte. But when we was in Maryland, he would get up, because this is how they carry it up there. He would get up on, say, a Saturday morning, and I'd be like, well, where you going? Because he ain't asked me. He ain't say, Mama, can I go out? So I'm looking at him like, well, what are you getting dressed for? Where you going? Oh, I got to go to work, Mama. Go to work? Yeah. What do you mean? You ain't got a job. Yes, I do. Me and my friend, we cut the lawns on Saturday mornings. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, do you need me to drop you off? Well, it'd be nice because I'd be tired walking down there and then we got to cut the lawns. And then I said, okay, I'll go cut the lawns. I'll take you to go cut the lawns. He said, well, Mama, is it okay if I give the people your number to call if they need their lawns cut? Because he didn't have a phone at the time. I said, yeah, that's fine. And being that you're going to be running a business, I'll get you a phone. Okay? So it's up to the parents to see what their child is doing and try to help them out, because they can't do it by themselves, Even if it's a phase. Sometimes it could just be a phase. Like, I'm going to use my daughter, Egypt, for instance. She was doing the nails. She wanted to do the nails. So I bought her all this nail stuff. Okay. And she got past that phase. And she went from the nails. Now she's waxing my underarms and eyebrows. I'm like, okay, so is this what you're going to do? And then she wants to do makeup. Then she wants to get into doing the hair. But I support her through it all until she makes the decision of what she really wants to do. Okay? So this is the way we have to be parents. We as parents sometimes, lose ourselves. So we can't focus on our children. And it's normal. It's not that, people are bad parents. We have to just that we have a responsibility. And we are the face that this child sees every single day. Okay? They may be able to get on social media and see all these other faces and say, oh, I want to be like this person. But you are the number one face that this child sees every single day. So you're going to be the one that they look up to. And if you're making all the negative mistakes, that's what's going to happen to them. Okay? Then we have the parents that won't teach their kids about certain things. And it's not because they don't want to teach their kids about certain things. It's because they've never been through it. So if they've never been through something, how can they teach their kid about a certain thing or a certain subject? It's impossible. So this is when an individual has to seek the knowledge. We learn through experiences. Experience is the best teacher. However, we can't let it hinder us. Okay, especially black men. Y'all have to go to school, I know so many black successful men, and most of them came out of the army. Or, well, I'm going to say the military. I'm not going to say this the army because that's not true. Out of the military. They went into the military, got what they needed from the government, and said, when they came out, and said, this is what I'm going to do for me and mine. And they became successful at it because they got the understanding of what I need to do in order to become successful. And that means to keep on going. No matter how tough it gets, you keep on going. Okay? Because I'm starting to hear how, they go to court, they railroad them, or they do this and do that. And this is what made a lot of black men, start reading and doing research, going to the library, doing research on their own, and to see about certain laws and different things like that. So they wouldn't be railroaded. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes is for you to gain the knowledge. Get the information needed about whatever your situation is. We're trying to see less and less black men going to jail. We want to see more and more black men successful. Nobody's perfect, It's not easy getting up when you're tired, going to work every single day. So I'm a black woman, and I had to do it, I had to dedicate myself, be tired, sick, but I still got to get up and complete it. And be dedicated to something. See, that's the other thing. Then you got some people out here, they get a job, but they won't be dedicated. Okay? They won't be dedicated to themselves, their family, or the job. They're just doing it because they know that that's supposed to be the right thing to do. But until you dedicate yourself to something, you're going to always be unhappy and make bad decisions. So you have to first say to yourself, you do it in steps. Is this something I want to do? Am I going to be happy doing it? That's the second question. Am I disciplined enough to take a person saying something to me? Because the first thing people will say is, this ain't my mother, so I'm not going to take this abuse from you. Am I disciplined enough to take a small amount of abuse from an employer and address it the proper way? Okay, because you're taking abuse don't mean you have to take the abuse. You can address it, but it's all on how you address it. Okay? Sometimes a boss can come and say, didn't I tell you to do X, Y, and Z? And you looking at them like, who you talking to? You ready to snap like, you already know. But you got to learn how to address these type of people when they start coming at you the wrong way. And that's when you turn around and say, who are you speaking to? You don't have to go off and flip out. Well, I would appreciate if you don't speak to me like that and ask me to do so-and-so, or I didn't hear you, or whatever the case may be. But you're not going to just talk to me and kind of... I was out working, and this was recently, about maybe a month ago, and this supervisor, I was at the Aldi's, and was talking to this lady. She said, well, you need to do this, and this. And it's the way she said it. And I just turned around and I looked. And I said, you know what? She lucky that wasn't me. Because I would have tore her a new a-hole, okay? And I would have did it nicely. And see, that's the thing. You have to learn. I saw this video, and the man was saying this on Facebook. I think Facebook or Instagram, where the man was saying the key, exactly what I'm speaking of. You have to have the knowledge, the will, the patience, discipline, and to know how to talk to people. And that comes with professionalism. You can learn a lot of that in customer service. Customer service is like one of the number one top skills that a person needs. Okay, because you never know when you're going to be dealing with someone outside of your business. And you want to make sure that even if it's not your business, if it's someone else's business, that you're presenting yourself in a professional manner. And you're able to handle the situation without chaos and drama. Okay, those are the keys. And when you have those keys, life becomes a breeze. Okay, I know it sounds like I'm rhyming this morning, but it's the facts, okay? You need certain keys. And first you have to work on yourself, okay? If you constantly hear other people speaking of, oh, I can't do this because of this, and I can't do that because of this, that's what you're going to always feel. You got to take yourself out of that type of circle and get with people that's already been successful. Okay? And whatever endeavors that they have, created in their lives. So you can start seeing life in a different way. Okay? We can watch all of these motivational videos, inspirational videos, but if you do not apply it, it's a waste of time. You must apply it so you can understand why things happen the way they happen. You know, a lot of people, they talk to me. They talk to me because I analyze situations and break them down. Once they're broken down, you have a different outlook on a subject. And that's what people have to start doing. This is what I try to tell them. You need to meditate. Because when you have too much on your mind, you can't think straight. But if you clear that mind of all that excess negativity, you can see better. Okay? That's when they say, oh, my third eye. You're able to see things that you wouldn't have normally seen because you have this clouded brain. Okay? You have to start working on yourself. That's number one. The discipline. Even if you don't have a job and you're looking for a job, you dedicate yourself every day to get up at a certain time and get up, get dressed, and, do whatever you're going to do, even if you're going to sit on the couch. To start preparing yourself of doing something the same way every single day. Repetitively, you have to get used to that. You have to get used to being told what to do. Some people can't be told what to do. And then some people feel like they can do what they want to do. But you can't work for people and do what you want to do. Because it's their business. Even with some of the kids that I've, came across throughout my life, some of them made mistakes. But a lot of them came out of the mistakes and continued on with the success that they was looking forward to. Because we all human. We're going to make mistakes. But you can't feel within your heart that every time you decide to do something, you're not going to make it because you're black. It's not true. And I'm here to tell you. You create your own destiny. You do that for yourself. There's nothing wrong with hard work. There's nothing wrong with sweating. Sometimes we'll get a job and feel underpaid. But there's nothing wrong with that. Because if you do a job for someone and you're underpaid, what would you do for a person that's paying you? For real. Okay? So you got to look at these type of things. What would you do for yourself? Because when you own your own businesses, guess what? You're going to always be underpaid. Because you got to take care of the business first in order for it to run. Can you do that? Do you have the discipline to do that? If you don't have the discipline to do that, then don't open up your own business. Go work for somebody else. Because when you own your own business, every dollar that you got may have to go back into that business. And then you'll say to yourself, I'm not getting paid. So how am I supposed to pay my bills? That's why most people, that when they start out in businesses, they keep a job, because you got to continue to invest to make the business bigger and bigger and bigger. That's the way it works. It can't get bigger by itself. If every time you get your money, you want to say you sold all your products or, whatever the business may be. If you don't put money back into that business, it could be a car lot. If you don't pay the lights, not a car lot, it could be a garage. If you don't pay the lights, to keep things going. You know, where you're able to see, to fix the cars. You got to pay for the phone bill to make sure that people are able to call you. So if you only made a little bit of money this particular week or month, and all you got is enough just to put back into the business, that's what you got to do in order for it to grow. That comes with discipline. Okay? You can't take the money and be like, you know, I made this money, I'm going to spend this money because I made it with the business. You can't do that. So a business will be out the question if you're not stable enough mentally to be willing to sacrifice for something that you're building. You have to know how to sacrifice. You know, people say to me, Jackie, you got business and why are you still working? Because I don't like being broke. Because my businesses break me. And I don't like it. It's not for me. Because I like to go to the store and be able to buy what I want when I want it. And if I can't do that, I'm going to be very, very unhappy. So I work to make sure I have my extra money to do whatever I need to do. Meanwhile, I'm building my business. Okay, the money come back from the business, I can throw it right back into the business. And that's just the way it works. So if you're not the type of person that can be disciplined like me, you know, and this is for woman or man, it has nothing to do with, even though I'm talking about the fellas, this has nothing to do with whether you're a woman or male. It still applies, you know. Don't start a business if you're not ready to sacrifice. Same with having children. If you're not ready to sacrifice, if you're not the type of person that is willing to sacrifice for certain things, you don't want to get into it. And it's okay. It's your choice. Okay? But then you have those that say, you know, I want just a little bit more than what I have. So I have to learn how to sacrifice. You work on it. Okay? People that give away money, clothes, you know, like you have these nonprofits, or you have just people just giving stuff away. Those are people that have learned to sacrifice, that they're able to do without because someone else needs. Okay? Some of us take on too much sacrifice, and that we didn't even intend to take on. So you got to know which realm of life you want to go in. You know, my favorite game is Hasbro, I think. The Game of Life. The Game of Life should be in everyone's home in America. Okay, it's a board game. Your knees still hurt you? Here she comes, Egypt. Now her knees is hurting her.
It's hurting.
Mommy knees hurt, Egypt knees hurt. Mommy back hurt, Egypt back hurt. Egypt's stomach hurt. Mommy's stomach hurt, Egypt's stomach hurts.
No, my back doesn't hurt.
No, your back don't hurt today.
And my stomach doesn't hurt neither.
Oh.
Just my knee.
Okay, well, we're going to check your knee out, okay?
Oh, my reflexes.
You must have stood the wrong way or did something. Maybe it's those sneakers. Maybe it's those sneakers. She got her some new sneakers, and they just may not be for her. But anyway, so you have to decide, and I do apologize, Egypt is always coming in on the podcast. You have to decide. Would you get out, please? You have to decide whether or not you want to be that person to sacrifice. You know, sometimes you'll go to work, even with a job. Sometimes you'll go to work and the boss will come to you and say, I had 3 call-outs and it's only 4 of us. So I'm going to have to split this work up, for everybody. We just got to try to get through this as much as we can. I've heard people go off, cursing and flipping out. Oh my God, that's not my job. Blah, 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 blah. I'm here to do da. People going on. And it's because they don't understand that the people that was employed right along with them and called out, they didn't care about their team. Okay, so that's the other thing. You have to be able to understand sacrifice. Okay? And how other people will feel. I got to the point where I would never call out of work because of 2 things. 1, it looks bad on your record. 2, it makes the other employees suffer. Okay? So, you have to tell yourself, I'm willing to dedicate myself not only to the company I'm working for, but to my fellow colleagues. So we can all be happy and get a paycheck. And let me tell you about this now. I started working for Frito-Lay. The job that I had, if I didn't go to work, I didn't get paid. Okay? And my sick time was like so little. Meaning it just wouldn't cover a whole day's pay. Okay? Look at that sick pay, man. No, gotta go to work. Can't do this. Because I'm used to making this certain type of money. My boss used to always say, Jackie, you always cut yourself a good check every week. I said, well, this is what y'all taught me. Sometimes I can't get that good check. Sometimes I get sick, So there's been times, and I tell y'all no lie, the ambulance had to pull up and take me to the doctor because I worked myself to death without a break. Not taking care of myself because that check can't be wrong. Okay, it has to be right. Okay, so I would go to work, I'd be sick as a dog, I ate, didn't do nothing, but I was so dedicated, which was actually a hindrance because now I got sick and now I'm in the hospital and the doctor talk about, well, you need to stay home and rest for 2 days. 2 days? What are you talking about? Fix me now. I'm going to work tomorrow. No, you need to rest. Oh, I'm going to miss 2 days of money. You got to be kidding me. And that's the way I used to think about it, okay? So you got to look at all of these factors. You got to take care of yourself. You have to sacrifice for not only the company, but to your fellow colleagues. These are the things that you have to do and make these decisions. Okay? And learn. Okay? You prep yourself before you go out there looking for a job. And sometimes, looking for a job is a job. Okay? Sometimes. But you can prep yourself. And get ready get your mind right. That's why I always tell people, just get your mind right. Because your mind has to be in a certain space before you go out there and deal with people in the world. Because everybody is from different backgrounds and has different beliefs. They live different. They were brought up different. And you may not agree or see the way they may think, and they may not see the way you think. So you got to get your mind right and have your mind open. So when you go out there dealing with these people, you won't make yourself miserable. Okay? Because some people be so miserable. And I'm going to just keep it real with you. When I was working with Amazon, and I love Amazon, don't get me wrong. I was working with them. I had to encounter so many people in a day. Okay? And I'm used to that because I did it with Frito-Lay. But your mind had to be right. Okay? We were dealing with the COVID. We were dealing with trying to get the orders out because now that the COVID was going on, people wasn't able to go out and shop, so they're shopping more at Amazon. Okay, so I had to get my mind right for that. I had to get my mind right for staying fit and healthy while working. You know, it was just very overwhelming for me. It may not be for anybody else, but for me, it was very, very overwhelming. Then I'm trying to protect myself from the COVID, people being around me, you know, and I'm worried about that. A machine may break down. You got to restart that and get that going, you know. It was just too overwhelming for me. Then my body parts start aching me. So now I got to deal with that and go pop pills. And my allergies is bothering me. So now I'm popping pills for that too. So now I'm high as a kite trying to do my job. It was just too overwhelming. It's not something I wanted in my life. And I had to shut it down. So when you experience stuff like that and you know that it's just not for you and it's going to make your life more difficult than help, shut it down and move on to the next. That's just what you have to do. You know, people are quick to tell you to get a job, but if the job is making you miserable, you're not going to be happy doing it, and you're going to get away from working because you're always unhappy taking jobs that you really don't like. Okay? Every job is different for everybody. I used to be in the healthcare field. I used the healthcare field to get me through, but I was very unhappy. I'm retail. You put me in retail, I'm happy. Some way, some form. Because that's what I love. So you have to find out what you're happy doing. You know, I'm going to use my nephew from New York. He loves to work out. And you know, he's been hurt recently, but so he can't work out the way he used to, but he's still working to get himself back in order. And, you know, he told me he likes retail as well. But when I look at him and I say, don't you know you can become, this is what I say to myself, don't you know you could become a professional, what they call them? Trainer. And you love doing it because you do it anyway. It wouldn't be work to you. And you can make a lot of money. I think I'm going to bring that to him today. Because sometimes you don't see your worth. Sometimes you just don't see your worth. And then, this is the other thing I don't like. That the government does or allows. As soon as they see something is popping, they want to add school to it. When school never existed around it before the fact. Which makes it more difficult for a person to achieve what they've already been doing. Because if they don't have money to go to school, and now these different companies are saying, hey, well, we're only taking people that's been to school. It costs money to go to school. And if you don't have it, what you supposed to do? But you're good at what you do.
Here's your reminder. Drink water.
Alexa, dismiss. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good morning, Jacqueline. Here's your reminder. Drink water.
Alexa, dismiss.
This is a reminder.
Ugh.
Call the doctor's office.
Oh, yeah, I gotta call the doctor's office. Alexa, dismiss. Thank you.
You bet. This is a reminder. Call the doctor's office.
Alexa, dismiss. Thank you.
Anytime. This is a reminder.
Oh, she's gonna keep on
Call the
going.
doctor's office.
Alexa, thank you.
You're welcome. This is a reminder.
She ain't gonna stop.
Call the doctor's office.
Alexa, dismiss.
This is a reminder. Eat.
Oh, Lord. Alexa, dismiss. Okay. She done told me I had to do 3 things. Drink some water, eat, and call the doctor's office. She done said it so many times, it's in my brains. Jesus. Anyway, but I love her because I be forgetting all this stuff. And she has to remind me because I would have forgot about calling the doctor's office today. Best to believe it. Anyway, getting back to men feeling like they're being railroaded, they're black, so they will never be successful. You have to start within yourself and say who you want to be. Okay, that's just the bottom line. And you can't lie to yourself. And it's okay to say, okay, well, I tried this. I don't like that. I want to move on to something else. It's okay. Don't make your life miserable. Okay, where you feeling like you're living in hell. You want to be happy with what you do. So then it becomes fun. Even though you're making money. Okay, it's like when I go out and I do my Instacart. I've been, like I tell y'all all the time, I've been in retail for 16 years. So I go out there. The worst part of my job, and I'm going to tell you when I'm out there doing Instacart, is driving. That's the worst part of my job. Because I have to totally focus. And I mean focus on the road to be safe. That's the hardest part of my job. Dealing with the people can be a little hard, but it's not really that hard because once I finish with them, I'm done with them. I move on to the next. To me, retail is second nature. Because that's how long I've been doing it, and that's how easy it comes to me. Okay, where something could be difficult for someone else because it's not made for them or that's not something they want to learn. You know, people look at a product and they see the name, they know they like it, you know. They see the barcode that scans out, but they would never go no further than that. I look at a product, it's in this bottle. Okay. Oh, I like this type of wrapping they got. Oh, and they got the safety seals. Okay. So you see how it's levels to how you look at a product, you know, or the same. I'm going to go back a little bit. Back when I was young, I had cleaning service. And I think I told y'all this story when I was living up in Buffalo. And this particular house I was cleaning, this person had dogs. And they would put the dogs in the back hallway. And the dogs would poop. And it was to take a shovel, physically standing on the poop, matted on the ground, take the shovel, break it down, okay, to actually shovel it up, to get space for me to, you know, be able to even get off of standing on the poop to shovel the rest of it up. It was the worst thing I've ever had to do, okay, when it came to cleaning. However, somebody got to get the job done. Was it a job that I hated? No. but it's not something I would want to do for the rest of my life. And that's the way you have to look at things. Do I want to shovel poop for the rest of my life if it came to me? Okay? So that's what you got to say to yourself. What do you want to do with yourself? How do you want to become successful? Sometimes you got to pull back from certain people and be around. Sometimes be by yourself in order for you to see and open your eyes to the things that you want to do. And then you can resurface. That's kind of what I used to do. When I was into something, and I'm trying to be successful at it, I will go away from my friends for a good while, and then I'll come back. And they're like, where you been? Oh, well, I've been doing this. This is what I do. I'm doing this. I'm doing this business. Blah, 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 blah. And they're looking at you like, huh? Yeah, that's what I've been doing while I've been going for the last year. But they wouldn't understand it because they are not in that realm of life. Only people that will understand is people that do the same things that you do. So that's why sometimes we have to even change our circle of people so we will be able to think properly. Because when you're with people that don't think like you, they're not going to understand you, and then they look at you as being different. In actuality, you're just in a different realm of life. So you got to deal with the people that's like you. Sometimes we lose our friends because they may not understand your level of life. But then you gain new ones where y'all can talk about the same things and give each other advice on the same things to become successful. And then you're going to meet people at a higher level and a higher level. And that's the way it works. So you can't be afraid let me go back. You can't be afraid of change if you want to become successful. So you have to gain all of these keys. Prepping yourself. So you can get to where you want to get to. And it takes time. Everything takes time. Nothing happens overnight. But as long as you got breath in your body, you can make it happen. As long as God wake you up every day, it don't stop. You keep going. That's the way it works. I got to get off of here because I guess what I got to do. I got to follow my pattern. Call the doctors. Drink me some water so I don't get sick. And I got to eat. And I don't want to get off course this morning because I have a lot to do. And this is the way you have to keep your life in order to become successful. That's just the way it is. You have to dedicate yourself to something. And you can't turn around later on and always pointing a finger at somebody else on why you wasn't successful in something or why you can't make it somewhere because of you being railroaded or you people are targeting you. Just like me, I felt like I was blackballed for a long time. But I didn't let it stop me. I found other ways. There's no way possible you're going to stop me from taking care of my family. Especially when I'm doing it legally. So with a lot of prayer, keeping my mental clean, keeping my soul clean, I was able to maneuver through things that people thought I couldn't get through. Because their third eye wasn't open. All they thought about was trying to stop me. But because their third eye wasn't open and they wasn't dedicated to what they supposed to be doing, I still skimmed past them. And they didn't understand why. Or how. because I was dedicated to what I do. So you're going to find those roadblocks. You're always going to get roadblocks. But you sit back and think. But you can't think if your mind is not open. And you continue to go forward. And that's just what I do, you know. And there's a lot of other people out here just like me. You know. It's this song. What's that song? I forgot who made the song. You can't stop me. I forgot how the words go, but it's you can't stop me. You know, as long as I got God and I keep my mind open and I'm focused on what I'm doing, I'm dedicated to what I'm doing, you can't stop me. You're wasting your time. It may take me longer because I got a roadblock and now I got to go around this other block. But I'm going to figure it out. You know how they had the mazes, you know, and they put the person in the maze or the ball in the maze and you got to get through the maze. Sometimes life can seem like that. But that don't mean it's the end of the world because you got this maze. You just find another way. Sit back and think about it. Analyze it. And that's how we do it. That's just how we do it. You keep going. And sometimes, you know, too, we have people in our lives. It's the other thing. We could be doing everything we're supposed to be doing. But we can have people in our lives that would just block us and hold us up. What do we do in that situation? It can become very, very difficult. This is why when you have something that you're destined to do and be successful at, it's better to be alone if the people are not on the same page. Just be alone. Because if you're not, people will hold you up from your success. And then you're blaming them, but in actuality it's you because you're saying to yourself, you know I could have gotten to here if I wasn't blocked from this person doing X, Y, and Z. But then you have to make your first goal is to get away from that person or get away from them people. Okay, that you have to sometimes switch things up and say, okay, these type of people is not for me. They're blocking me. They're stopping me. They're in my way. So you got to get rid of them. Let's get rid of them. And once you get rid of them, you'll see yourself soar. Sometimes that's just what you got to do. No matter how bad it hurts, sometimes you got to let it go. So you can see or get to where you need to get to because they want to block you. They want to sit still. And you're not ready to sit still. God wasn't intending for you to sit still. And they just want to sit there and put you at a halt because they don't want nothing with their lives. They want the basic life. So you have to get rid of them. And that's just what it is. And this is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie, Deja, whatever y'all call me. I love you guys, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.